This lesson will teach you how to punctuate compound sentences. We will look at using commas with coordinating conjunctions, semicolons, and conjunctive adverbs. Remember that the basis of all our formulas is I. I is an independent clause. An independent clause has one set of subjects and verbs. Compound sentences have two independent clauses. Therefore, they have two sets of subjects and verbs. The first formula is I, Ci. This formula shows us how to join two independent clauses using a coordinating conjunction. You may remember the acronym FANBOYS. These are our short conjunctions, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. The comma goes before the conjunction. For example, English isn't my favorite subject, but Mrs. E makes it fun. The first set of subjects and verbs is English is. The second set is Mrs. E makes. The coordinating conjunction is but. The problem many students have using this formula is that they want to use a comma anytime they use a coordinating conjunction or fanboys. Only use a comma when there is a complete sentence or independent clause after the conjunction. Look at the difference. We have to read every day, but there isn't homework every night. The first set of subjects and verbs is we have. The second set is homework is. Now in this sentence, there's only one set of subjects and verbs. We like. Solving math problems and using calculators are types of noun phrases telling what we like to do. The phrase using calculators with the tests isn't a complete sentence, so using a comma would be wrong. The second formula is I, I. This formula indicates that we will use a semicolon to separate independent clauses. When you use a semicolon like this, you are indicating to your reader that there is an important connection between the two sentences. For example, Mrs. E talks a lot. English is never boring. This sentence indicates that English is fun due to Mrs. E's gift of gab. Here, Mrs. E is my English teacher. I hate bananas. Well, what exactly are you saying about Mrs. E? Obviously, this construction would be incorrect. The problem most students have when using semicolons is that there is not a complete sentence after the semicolon. This sentence shows what I mean. Even when they are too busy for everyone else is not a complete sentence. It is a dependent clause and doesn't work by itself. The final formula for this lesson is I, semicolon, Ca, comma, I. I know it looks confusing, but just remember the Ca stands for conjunctive adverbs or transitional expressions. Here's a handy list of those words that need semicolons. You can just Google list of conjunctive adverbs and find it online. What you want to remember is that special punctuation is used with these words. Here's an example of the formula. The main problem students have with this formula is when the phrase for example is used. Here, the sentence is punctuated incorrectly because there is no independent clause after the phrase for example. When you use the phrases for example, for instance, or in addition, make sure there is a complete sentence after it. Now, the question we always come back to is, can I break the rules? I, Ci. Yes, you can break that rule, but only when both of the independent clauses are short sentences. This will give your writing a sense of urgency. If one or both of the independent clauses are longer sentences, I'm saying more than 7 or 8 words, you should follow the rule so you don't run the risk of creating a run-on sentence. I, semicolon, I. No, do not break this rule. Putting two independent clauses together with no separation is immature and lazy. I, semicolon, conjunctive adverb, comma, I. No, don't break this rule either. Learning to use this rule correctly will add dimension to your sentence structure and interest in your writing. This rule will help you as you develop your writing voice. As always, happy editing!